A very good morning to you and welcome to the AM News on Global TV, Star Times Channel 276. We're broadcasting live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I'm Kemi Ashekun. The meeting between President Bola Tinubu and members-elect of the incoming House of Representatives in the opposition parties has been shifted to Thursday, the 8th of June. Tinubu was scheduled to meet with members-elect of the opposition of the yet-to-be-inaugurated 10th Assembly on Monday, the 5th of June. The President's meeting with the minority members-elect in the Senate will, however, hold as scheduled. The President's notice of invitation to the lawmakers-elect on Saturday was signed by the Permanent Secretary, State House, Tijani Umar, on behalf of the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. Meanwhile, opposition senators-elect will meet with Tinubu by 3 p.m. Though the notice did not state the agenda of the meeting, it may not be unconnected with the controversy caused by the leadership zoning plan of the All Progressives Congress. The federal government has said it will consider the list of demands from the Trade Union Congress, TUC, which includes minimum wage. This was disclosed after a meeting between both parties at the Aso Villa in Abuja yesterday. Speaking to State House correspondents after a meeting which lasted about 3 hours between the federal government and the TUC, the spokesperson for the federal government, Dele Alake, said it will also look at the practicability of the demands and will consider tax holidays for workers. Alake said that fundamentally, President Bola Tinubu will constitute a tripartite committee to include states, organized labor, and the private sector to study the dynamics of the minimum wage argumentation in a bid to reach an amicable conclusion. According to Dele Alake, there is no disagreement with the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, over demand for a review of the minimum wage or return to the status quo, noting that the federal government's representatives will meet with the president of the NLC to finalize decisions on their demands. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has said improved livelihood for Nigerians remains a top priority for his administration, with more people-focused economic policies, stating that the national minimum wage needs a review to reflect current realities. He made this known when he played host to the Progressive Governors Forum led by the chairman, Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, at the State House in Abuja. The People's Democratic Party has called on President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima to take a cue from the late President Umar Yar'Adua by publicly declaring their assets as a demonstration of their determination to lead by example. The PDP stated this through its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, yesterday. He said it was not enough for the President to fill asset declaration forms and return same to the Code of Conduct Bureau just to fulfill the requirements of the law, although the PDP is challenging the declaration of Tinubu as winner of the February 25th elections. Ologunagba urged both Tinubu and Shettima to lead by example and follow the path of late President Umar Yar'Adua in declaring their financial and material worth before the entirety of Nigerians. The 9th National Assembly, which was inaugurated on the 11th of June 2019, will wind down this week. The House of Representatives will hold its valedictory session on Tuesday, while the Senate will have its own on Wednesday. The President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, is expected to adjourn sitting at the Red Chamber indefinitely, and the Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, will close the Green Chamber on Thursday. On the same day, Gbajabiamila hinted at the schedule of activities for the week. The 10th Assembly is billed for inauguration on the 13th of June 2023, when a new set of presiding officers will either be adopted or re-elected. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors have insisted on their demand for at least a 200% increment in the CONMES salary structure. They also demanded that the associated allowances, which they had made known in their July 7, 2022 letter to the government, be met. This was disclosed by the NARD President, Dr. Emeka Urji, in a communique issued at the end of its scientific conference hosted in Lagos on Saturday. However, we have resolved to give the new government some time to quickly resolve this issue, which is at the root of the current spate of massive brain drain in the sector, the communique stated. Furthermore, they called on some state governments to ensure that the health sector is revived, while asking the federal government to declare a state of emergency in Nigeria's health sector, as the era of paying lip service to the monster called brain drain should be over. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has submitted his assets declaration form and the Code of Conduct Bureau on Saturday has acknowledged the receipt of the form. The senior special advisor to former president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, made this known on Saturday in a Twitter post as he shared a photo of the acknowledgement slip from the CCB, where he revealed that Buhari had taken no loan and had no liabilities. The acknowledgement slip was signed by the chairman of the CCB, Issa Muhammad, and was dated May 31st. It was earlier reported that Buhari on May 26 received copies of his assets declaration form at the State House in Abuja before he handed over power to President Bola Tinubu on the 29th of May. You're watching the AM News on Global TV, coming to you live on Star Times Channel 276 from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. You can follow us across social media platforms at Global TV NG. More stories coming your way after this break. Please stay with us. France has committed to invest 1.2 million euros to support Nigeria's entrepreneurs in the creative and cultural sector. The Minister of State for Development, Francophonie and International Partnerships, France Chrysoula Zakharopoulou, said this at a media conference in Lagos, saying it is imperative to reinforce diplomatic ties in the coming months, adding that Nigeria is an important player in tackling regional challenges, and so the need to discuss peace and stability in these parts is important. Partnership in the field of creative and cultural industry was at the heart of her visit, adding that they aim to attract more French films to Nigeria. The United States Embassy in Nigeria has announced an increase in non-immigrant visa application processing fees. The embassy statement announced that the fees for visitor visas for business or tourism B1 and B2 visas and border crossing cards, as well as student and exchange visitor visas, have been increased. The effective date of the fee increase has been postponed from the 30th of May to the 17th of June 2023. According to the U.S. Embassy, other consular fees are not affected by this rule, including the waiver of the 2-year residency required fee for certain exchange visitors. And on the foreign scene, fighting between Sudan's warring generals has intensified despite U.S. sanctions imposed after the collapse of a U.S. and Saudi brokered truce. Witnesses reported artillery fire around the state television building in the capital's sister city of Durman, just across the Nile. For nearly 7 weeks, deadly fighting between the regular army and the paramilitary rapid support forces has gripped Khartoum and the Flashpoint's western region of Darfur, despite repeated efforts to broker a humanitarian ceasefire. Washington slapped sanctions on the warring parties, holding them both responsible for the provoking bloodshed. The U.S. Treasury placed 2 major arms companies of the Sudanese Armed Forces, Defense Industry System, and Sudan Master Technology on its blacklist. In India, desperate relatives searched on Sunday for loved ones missing after India's worst train disaster in decades, and the death toll was expected to climb above 288 as authorities searched for clues to the cause. Debris was piled high at the site of Friday night's crash near Balasore in the eastern state of Odisha, with compartments smashed and the blood-stained wreckage of some carriages flung far from the tracks. There was confusion about the exact sequence of events, but reports cited railway officials as saying that a signaling error had sent the Coromandel Express running south from Kolkata to Chennai into a side track. And in entertainment, Nigerian female singer Temilade Okpeni, popularly known as Tems, has finally received her plaque for Grammy Award win. Tems won the award for Best Melodica Rap Performance at the 65th Grammys on the 6th of February 2023 for her contribution to Future's Wait For You, which also featured Drake. The singer's manager, Muyiwa Awoni, broke the news of the plaque's arrival on social media on Friday night. Being the first female Nigerian artist to win a Grammy, the curvy singer is also the first female Nigerian singer to be nominated for a Grammy Award. Let's talk some sports now. French footballer Karim Benzema has left Real Madrid, according to a tweet by journalist Fabrizio Romano's official statement confirms the player and the club's decision to part ways after 14 years. The 35-year-old forward agreed to a deal to end his glittering era at the club. The Spanish side said on Sunday he's also been heavily linked this week with a lucrative move to Saudi Arabia. The announcement comes after Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti had said Saturday there was no doubt about Benzema's future at Madrid, noting the forward had one more year left on his contract. Rafael Nadal's keyhole surgery on his injured hip was positive, but he will require a 5-month recovery period before playing again, his spokesman has said. The 22-time Grand Slam title winner, who celebrated his 37th birthday on Saturday, could in theory be back in time for the Davis Cup finals in November. However, it is likely he will sit out the rest of the season before resuming in 2024, which he has already said will be the last year of his career. Nadal said last month that the hip injury had not healed well as he had hoped, and therefore he was taking more time out of the sport. The Spaniard missed the ongoing French Open, which he has won 14 times for the first time since 2004. And that's it for the AM News on Global TV in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. You can follow us across social media platforms. We are at Global TV NG. Thank you so much for watching. There is more at 12 if you stay with us. Global Morning begins shortly. Do have a great morning and stay with us.